Hello everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. Hope you are all doing well. Alright, for today's video we are talking about possibly Ousmane Dembele to Paris Saint-Germain. Now it's not set in stone, it's not done. There's a lot of talk about it, but we're going to go through it today, and also I'll give you guys my general thoughts on number one, Ousmane Dembele, the player. Give my thoughts also on if PSG should buy him, if Barca should sell him, let him go, or keep him around, and also talk about if Ousmane Dembele should even go. But before we get into that, guys, real quick, please be sure, if you want to keep up with the channel, to subscribe and also turn on the bell for notifications, as well as down below in the description you can find all my socials to keep track of me and what I'm doing outside of YouTube. So let's just get straight into the video with that. So you can see on the screen right now, before we talk about this, let's talk about what happened last week. Last week we learned that PSG triggered Dembele's release clause of around £42 million. And what that basically means, when a club triggers a player's release clause, if that player wants to leave, it's now on him. His parent club can't stop him from leaving because his release clause has been triggered. Therefore, in this case, if Dembele wants to leave, it's on Dembele because PSG have triggered his release clause. And we learned last night, as you can see on screen right now, he said yes. He has said yes to PSG, giving them the green light. And apparently they've even agreed a verbal agreement with his agent for a 5-year deal. And essentially it's now up to for PSG and Barca to arrange a deal. Now, normally with this, you'd think, well, hold on, it's done then, essentially, right? PSG want him. They triggered his clause, and then Dembele wants to go. So we can pretty much say for certain he is going. Well, not exactly, because there are some complications with this deal. In this tweet, the highlight is this last sentence here. 50 million euros clause, which is £42 million clause, set to expire in 8 hours. Now, why does this cause complications? Well, don't ask me why it's like this, but it just is. So yes, his release clause is £42 million, but from what I've learned, on the 1st of August, which is tomorrow, his release clause will rise from £42 million to £84 million, meaning it will double. Once again, don't ask me why it's like that, it just is. But yeah, because of that, that has caused some complications. Of course, PSG want to get that deal done straight away, and of course maybe Barca might want to stall a bit and force PSG to pay a bit higher for the French winger. But look, that's one part of it. That's the financial side of it. I don't really care much about that. Let's go on to the football side of things. If it happens or not, either way, I do want to talk about Dembele and if he should go or shouldn't go. And let's get started right now. So we'll start with Dembele, the football player. My thoughts on him. How good do I think he is? Well, I think he's fantastic. I do. I think he's a top 10 winger in world football. I think he's a fantastic player, an electrifying, exciting football player, great ball carrier, great passing, great incisive passing, very, very fast, very speedy, often on the ball, great dribbler, two-footed, which is always great. He is mainly a playmaker. If you had to say, is he more of a playmaker or a goal scorer, you would say he's more of a playmaker. Yes, but he does have also that goal scoring threat. He does have that. His finishing does let him down a bit, but in general he is a goal scoring threat, more so of a playmaking threat, and in general an all-round player. He is an all-round footballer. There is nothing in his arsenal of skills that you could point one out and say that that's bad, that's a huge weakness. No, he is in general a all-round player. He has strengths in many different areas in his game. But having said that, all those things are amazing, and yes, I do think he's fantastic. I also think he is extremely frustrating. Like, he is one of the most frustrating players I've ever seen in my entire life. Why? He's just not consistent enough. when he is out there on the pitch, when he plays, he will have a run of 5 games where he is just mesmerizing. Sometimes 10 games in a row where he is unbelievable. He is fantastic, and he truly shows glimpses of how great he could be. But then the next 5 or 10 games, he's a passenger on a plane. He's not around. He's quiet. He's not himself. He's just simply not good enough. And it happens far too often. And it's not helped by the fact that he is far too injury prone. He's been at Barcelona for 6 years, 6 seasons. 6. He does not have one full season of good football from start to finish to show for in 6 seasons. This is a man, a player who, when he came in, his potential was top 5 in the world. That's how high his ceiling was. 6 seasons in, he is yet to even remotely achieve that level. He's shown glimpses, and he's shown reasons why he has that potential. But he's just far too inconsistent and far too injury prone to achieve that level so far. We are 6 seasons in, and we still say he could be top 5 in the world. And I do agree with that. Just to clarify, he's only 26. He could still be a top 5 player in world football. It's just a cause for concern that he hasn't remotely got close to that in 6 seasons. That is a cause for concern. He could, once again, just to reiterate, he could reach that level. But it is worrying that after 6 seasons, he's nowhere near that level. And so that's my thoughts on him as a football player. I do think he's fantastic. He's such a talent. He is amazing. But he's extremely frustrating. Far too inconsistent. Far too injury prone. Not commanding enough as well for my liking. I want him to be more demanding of himself and his teammates, but more so himself. Sometimes I argue, does he have the right attitude? So he is a huge talent, but those things I just mentioned is a worry for me, that it does frustrate me. As the football enthusiast, I want to see the best in all. He frustrates me because his best is immaculate. It's mesmerizing. But more often than we see his worst. And it's frustrating to watch. Now, with that being said, should he go? Well, it depends on what his psyche. Because he's given the green light, so he wants to go. Pretty much, that's what he said. But should he go? I mean, look, it's in France. It's his home country. And maybe this is a somewhat similar Mason Mount Kai Havertz situation, where at his current club, in this case Barcelona, there is some sort of stigma mentally with him and the club, in which he can't realize his potential anymore, and therefore he needs a fresh start. Like Mason Mount, like Kai Havertz, maybe Dembele needs a fresh start to try and achieve that potential that he has. So with that being said, you know what? Maybe he should go. If he does want to be the best of the best, though, no, he shouldn't. Because the best of the best don't play for PSG. Or at least they shouldn't. You know, I say that Mbappe should want to leave because he's so amazing, therefore he should play in a much better league. That with Dembele's potential, I say the same to him too. He's playing in the French league with a player of his talent. For me, it's kind of a waste. I personally would like him to stay, to fight this out, fight through this rough 6 seasons he's had, where he's just been on and off and on and off. Work through it and be the player that we know he can be. But I do at the same time understand if he wants a fresh start. If he's just tired mentally and he wants a new beginning, I get that too. Now, in terms of Barcelona's position, should they sell him? Well, that depends. Because looking at the Barcelona squad, they need, like, as I look at the squad, the one position that's like, you know, you need to buy someone here straight away is right back. They need a right back. They cannot go into the new season with Dest or Sergio Roberto or even Jules Koundé, because yes, Koundé he can be a great right back. It's a waste because he is a good right back, but he's an amazing centre back. So that's a waste for me. So they need a right back. And if selling Dembele can fund that, I would go ahead and do that. I think it's worth it. Because I think as a whole, this could benefit the team. Now, Barcelona play in a way where it's not on one player. There is no one player from Barca that could leave and change everything. You know, they are a team in every sense of the word. They are a team, a force together. So Dembele's departure will hurt a bit, but they have Rafinha to fill in that role. And I think using the funds to sell Dembele on a right back is worth it, especially if it's a player of quality like João Cancelo. So in that regard, I do think PSG should sell. I do think Barca should sell. Should PSG buy him? They're going for him. Should they go for him? Yes. It's kind of a simple, you know, Messi was a right winger. He played on the right winger for them. At times number 10. He was a playmaker. He was a goal scorer. He was an all-round player. That is essentially also in Dembele's bag. He has those things. Yes, of course. He's not Messi. He's not close. But he has that potential to be a good playmaker, a good all-round player for the team, and slot right perfectly into the right wing position. So yes, I think it's a great deal for PSG. I think if you use the money correctly, it's a good deal for Barcelona. And if Dembele has this mental issue with, like, if he has this stigma with Barcelona, I think it could also be good for him to leave Barcelona and go to PSG. It is, of course, his home country, so that's another huge plus. That's my summary, just to sum it all up. I do think this is a great deal for PSG, and Barca can spend the money well to get a good replacement at right back, and they can do with Rafinha. And also, Dembele might need a fresh start. So, yeah. So we're going to end the video right there, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe for more. It greatly helps out the channel. Yeah. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think he's a great player, bad player? Should they sell him, Barca? Should PSG buy him? Should he go, Dembele? What do you think? Let me know down below. Have a great day. And as always, take care of yourselves.